नमस्कार। मेरे साथ इस वक्त डॉक्टर सुदीपा बोस, जो कि एक बहुत ही एक्सपीरियंस्ड गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट हैं और सेवायन हॉस्पिटल मुंगेर के डायरेक्टर हैं, वो मेरे साथ इस वक्त थोड़ा सा बातचीत करेगी। डॉक्टर बोस 1998 से सेवायन मुंगेर और उसके आसपास के पेशेंट्स का सेवा कर रही है।
राइट, हाँ बिल्कुल।
और ये आपने और डॉक्टर बारिश बोस ने इस इंस्टीट्यूशन को यहाँ तक लाया है। क्या चीजें आपने फेस की कठिनाइयों के तरह से, डिफिकल्टीज, एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द मंत्रा फॉर योर सक्सेस? 26 years is not a small time in any institution.
Okay, to start with, when we had come to this place, Munger, his parents were with us, so that's how we came to this place, and we started this particular hospital with just 5 beds.
Okay.
And we just had a maternity unit, and we had a neonatal unit. The neonatal unit was, of course, another 5, and we started with just few rooms. Like inpatients, I remember we had 10 beds or so. And then slowly we grew up, and today we stand at 40 plus beds. Yeah, that time things were tough. Sorry, I'll just take that off. Yeah. So now things were those days things were very different. Like Bihar was, as you know, was a backward state, and the rest of India was also not that tech savvy or what the present India is. We were not very global. So it was like coming from because we moved from the West to India. So it was a different world altogether.
Culture shock.
Yeah, it was a culture shock, and it was, you have to struggle, you have to work hard to actually get health and health awareness into the society, into the public. So we did have a lot of difficulties, because firstly people have to understand what it is all about. A hospital is not about only treatment, curative. It has to have other aspects too, like health education. Those days I remember we used to have these newspapers being delivered in the morning to our place. And this interesting story, my father-in-law, because he lived here a long time, he said, let us start giving these little pamphlets in the newspapers which teaches them about antenatal care, breastfeeding, lamba khasi hone se aapko kya karna hai. Tuberculosis is so common.
Yeah, those days.
HIV, AIDS, all those things were very common. Nowadays we get to see lesser cases, and there's a cure for those things. So those days were very challenging. Not only challenging in treating patients or looking after them, it was challenging because we had lack of facilities. There was no electricity for, I think, 18 hours a day. Yeah, so it was very tough. Yeah, generator. We had to have a generator, and it was tough. Now, of course, we don't have these infrastructure to do up something. It has improved significantly, not only Bihar, but I think all over India. We have changed. Last 20 years, I think there's a lot of change in India, in all fields, not be it education, health, transport, everything. We are trying to catch up with the rest of the world.
Correct. So you earned the trust of the people over these 26 years. Basically, you are always grateful to the people. What are the few things that you did to earn this trust?
This, I would say that, you have to, trust and faith comes from, it's not from me to the patient or from the patient to me. It's, how proactive one is with the patient.
Okay.
So what happens now, we have certain patients. I have mothers who have delivered here, and then now their daughters come to me,
okay.
who are pregnant, and it's like a third generation. One generation, two generation, and the mothers, these young mothers, they came in to us through their mother-in-laws or their mother. So I'm seeing women of 1, 2, 3 generations. Yeah. And this is a wonderful thing, because then you realize, okay, the lady was brought by her mother-in-law, and today she gets in a daughter, and these people, not only, it's not all about pregnancy. You become like a family doctor to them. They talk about their families, they talk about, so many difficulties they have. They will talk, and they are comfortable with that. So that's why, you feel that they get proactive with us, the faith, the trust, it's all by above. That comes from above.
So during these 26 years that you have practiced here, have you got lot of difficult pregnancy cases or emergency pregnancy cases?
Absolutely. When I go for the conferences, I actually discuss at the national level, at the international level. I discuss the cases which we get here. These are all, they used to be textbooks to me, because prior to this, when I worked in places, I worked in very big hospitals where you have a setup, you have all departments. Here when I came and started my practice, it was like, I have to do a multitasking, like if it's a complication, I cannot have a cardiologist, I cannot have a nephrologist, I don't have anybody. So you take the patient, it's a challenge, explain the mortality, the morbidity, and then you address the case, and then you treat her in such a way that she goes back home safely. So this place is a great, great learning for me.
Do you think that some of these complications that you see with patients is also because of lack of awareness of many things that one should do or not do before, during pregnancy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what are the messages that you would like to give to women who want to become pregnant or who have just become pregnant? Which are those things that will help them in this pregnancy?
Yes, we always advise them to have, whenever they get pregnant, you have your regular antenatal checkups.
Okay.
Always.
What should be the frequency, ma'am?
That depends, like, if it's a high risk, we even call them somebody with a heart disease, because these days, post-COVID, we are seeing a lot of gestational diabetes, lot of cardiac disease, lot of metabolic disease. So depending on the patient, earlier, you used to just tell them 9 months, one visit, but no longer. That stands.
That depends on what you find in the first visit.
The first visit. Yeah.
Okay. But suppose the person doesn't have any associated complications, then what is the frequency that you do?
We usually see them once a month.
Once
a month. Yeah.
Right.
If the patient remains healthy, just once a month is good.
So
enough.
do you also advise food, nutrition, exercise?
Yes, we do.
So what would it be? Just give some tips to the viewers who may benefit from this.
Yes, I would tell the viewers that, you don't eat for two. No, don't overeat.
No, don't eat for two.
No, don't eat for two.
This is very different from what we have been hearing since
childhood. Don't eat for two.
That's once you conceive, there is one more human being inside you. No. Eat for two. But that's wrong.
That's wrong.
Oh, I think that is a big misconception.
Eat for yourself. Don't overfeed yourself, because rising obesity in India, I'm in the peripheries, and we have a tough time. The BMI is really high. Young girls, they come to us hardly 18, 24, and they weigh 100 kgs. And then you have to do the blood sugars. You find it very high. So again, when it comes to pregnancy and nutrition, it depends upon the case. We actually, the first visit, we weigh the patients, we do their tests, and the diet is given accordingly. But one thing in general, never eat for two, eat for yourself, eat healthy. And
what would be the recommended meal if you say healthy? Dal chawal, or it is more than that?
Dal chawal is absolutely a very good meal. Dal, chawal, salad, fruits, but not too much of carbs. Correct. More of a dal.
Less of rice.
I would say 2 katoras of dal and a little bit of rice. So in general, how I tell my patients, I actually tell them, like, you take your plate, a plate and divide it into 4 parts.
Okay.
So 1/4 is like 1/4 is carb, like 2 rotis. 1/4 is a fruit or a salad, and half is protein, which comprises of fish, chicken, dal. So see, the protein is half, and you are just getting 1/3 of the carb, and you are getting one third of fruit and salads, where you get your vitamins.
And this is good enough for
this is good enough for pregnancy and for everyone. Everyone, okay. I would say. You follow this rule of 4, divide the plate into 1/4. It's good for all. Good for all.
One of the things that I have found in people whom I know, that different people during pregnancy are recommended different number of sonography during this thing. What is your thought on that? What are your views on that?
Well, if it's a normal patient, Usually we advise three. Okay,
Three.
so the first one, I'll just tell you, the first one is the first trimester
Mhm.
at the time of the first visit, and that is done to actually determine whether it's a viable pregnancy,
Mhm.
whether the pregnancy is in the right place, because sometimes there are pregnancies which is called ectopic pregnancy, it comes in the tubes.
Tubes,
So
yeah.
this is very dangerous. So we are happy with that. We get the fetal heart. This is that first. Then the second one we advise is in the second trimester,
Mhm.
where we do something called a special scan. We see the nuchal thickness of the baby, and depending on those parameters, we advise a test called a dual test or a triple test, which is a genetic test, quad
Okay.
test. So that rules out a lot of Downs, trisomy 18, and other genetic diseases.
Okay.
You know, so depending upon that, statistically, the blood test is simple blood test, so they correlate with that. Then the third ultrasound we do is around say 28, 30 weeks, like that, just to see the fetal growth and also the fetal circulation, the Doppler.
Mhm.
In some cases, some patients, you know, if they may be having a history or family history of heart disease, then we do a fetal echo.
Mhm. That is
So
possible to do.
yeah, absolutely.
Do
Yes.
you do it in
Yes,
Sevan?
yes. we do.
All these tests that you
Yes,
mentioned
all the tests. Yeah.
can be done in Sevan.
Yes, yes, we are doing
Oh,
all the
excellent.
tests, and then we do the Doppler studies. This ultrasound is a very special field. We are actually, our hands are tied without the ultrasound. It is such a boon. So like we do this anomaly scan to see if the baby has a cleft lip and other abnormalities, a heart defect or a kidney defect, or is the fluid okay. We do the Doppler flow. So depending upon usually 3 or 4 scans.
See, one of the things that I want to mention to the viewers,
Mhm.
if you have listened to Dr. Bose, what she's saying is that every ultrasonographic test has a specific purpose behind it.
Yeah.
हर का एक उद्देश्य है और वो एक स्टेज में होता है. इसीलिए अगर कोई किसी को लग रहा है कि हर महीने एक अल्ट्रासोनोग्राफी करना हो, सोच लीजिए, क्योंकि शायद वो ओवर एक्सपोजर की बात हो सकती है फीटस की. इज दैट अ प्रॉब्लम?
No, there's no radiation. Ultrasound is the safest thing.
Safest.
Yeah. Ultrasound is very safe. MRI is very safe during pregnancy. Ultrasound is very
This
very
is a
safe.
misconception I myself was carrying, that ultrasound exposure is not good for the patient.
No,
It is wrong,
no, it is
wrong perception.
wrong. We have had enough journals and everything, and without ultrasound, I tell you, these days you cannot move without the ultrasound.
So what I have understood, Dr. Sahi, that if there is nothing abnormally wrong with the mother and the fetus, 3 से 4 अल्ट्रासाउंड इज गुड इनफ फॉर द एंटायर जर्नी ऑफ
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
देखिए, ये एक बहुत बड़ी बात है. देखिए, हॉस्पिटल्स में कुछ डॉक्टर्स, बहुत कम डॉक्टर्स मैंने देखा है जो कि डॉक्टर सुदीपा मैम की तरह है, जो उतना ही प्रिस्क्राइब करती है डायग्नोसिस जितना कि पेशेंट को जरूरी है. और यही जो पेशेंट का जो इंटरेस्ट है इनके लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, जिसके कारण से 26 सालों में इन्होंने आप सबका विश्वास अर्जन किया है और जिसके लिए सेवायन नर्सिंग होम आपके प्रति आभारी है. डॉक्टर बोस, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन. आफ्टर द डिलीवरी इज डन, what type of care do you recommend to the mother, the child, and even the rest of the family? How
yes,
do they
yes,
support?
yes.
Please tell our audience what are the things that you would like them to follow or learn.
Yeah. So post delivery, that's a very happy moment for the
Yes.
mother
Right.
and the family, and for us too, because we have seen her 9 months, and the ultimate aim is to give a healthy mother and a healthy baby. So this is a time of joy, you can say. So most of the families, we see them celebrating. But I have taught my staffs certain things which they teach the patient. Like, a new mother she doesn't know how to feed her baby. She's been told, okay, you do this, do that, but
Breastfeeding, you
yeah,
mean?
breastfeeding. We encourage breastfeeding. Okay, so that is when they need help, because the mother gets so desperate. Look here, I am not lactating well, and why am I not lactating well? So we actually educate them. See, the more the baby suckles, the more milk you found. You have to have a good diet. We put them on a good, nutritious diet, which is good for lactation. So we teach them about the diet during lactation, what they should be taking, and
Is it
care of the
similar to what
breasts,
you
care
had spoken about before pregnancy or during pregnancy, or does it get supplemented further?
Yeah, it gets supplemented. Yeah,
Which
it
type
gets,
of things get
like
added?
we tell them, you know, take a lot of methi saag. You know, we like to tell them to take. You know, we don't propagate much of packaged food and medicine. You want to be natural and taking, you know, whatever is available in the
Right.
market. So this place, you know, they understand methi saag. So actually you get the, you know, sachets of methi, lactate. It's called lactate. You have the tablets to increase the recreation. But instead of that, I prefer telling them take masoor ka dal, take methi ka saag, you know, take sabudana ka kheer. This
Very,
kind of
very
food, yeah,
natural.
which they understand, which they love to follow, and which is easy to get instead of, you know, buying the
It is not very
medications.
costly
Yeah.
either.
It is not costly, then everybody can afford.
Okay.
So people know the diet, but they don't know how much and what to take.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's available in plenty, and we in India we have so much variety in our diet. We are not stuck with, you know, meat and this item. We have too much variety. So that way we try to tell them that, look here, whatever is available, you make the best use of that.
Right. What else? What about the father? New father. What is the advice to the new father? What should the father do or not do with the baby?
Well, I wish all the fathers, because when you talk of motherhood, you talk of fatherhood also. Both are responsible,
Right.
but unfortunately, our society has to change. There are times when I don't even have a look at the father.
You don't even get to meet them.
I don't even get to meet them.
That is not fair.
I don't even get to meet them. This is so. This we are far. Let me tell you this interesting story. See, in the West, whenever someone is pregnant, the husband is also part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, most of them. I leave out the single mothers, but if they are a loving couple, it's always, you know, they share. And in the West, some husbands on request, they are allowed to be in the labor room, so that, you know, when she's going through the pain, the husband also
Knows
shares,
the pain.
knows the pain. So when I came to this place, I actually thought, let me call the husband and, you know, let him share the pain too. So we started doing that, but unfortunately, one husband, instead of sharing the pain, he thought that, you know, doctors are inflicting the pain. He didn't know what labor pain was.
Right.
So it was tough controlling the husband. So that day I decided, okay, no husbands allowed. We are safer off with the patient we can deal, because you can't deal with two people, you know.
Right.
One the patient, one the husband. So these are very interesting stories we have, and again, you know, we learn a lot from all these experiences.
I remember when I became a father, my mother, who was a nurse, she taught me how to hold the baby
Yes.
as
yes.
a father. So do you, if the husbands are willing, does your team also train them?
Just 5 minutes ago, a couple walked into my room, and this is the couple who used to come every visit together. So I thought he is sensible and he's sharing his wives. He's looking forward to the child and everything. So when they got admitted, she was a previous cesarean section. So, you know, we did an elective operation for her. So this man, I told him that, you know, you have too many people in the room. So the child, newborn, is prone to infection. Why your wife is prone to infection? Don't stay too many people. Why don't you do one thing? You stay back and, you know, relax with your wife, and the rest of the nurses are there. You know what he told me? बच्चा को दूध कौन पिलाएगा रात में? हम तो नहीं पिला सकते. I don't know how to hold the baby. And he is already a father of 2 kids. This is third. I don't know how. So there are men who feel it's beyond their dignity to hold a child. This is India. It still exists. I'm yet to come across men who, you know, who walk in with babies, holding their babies. No. It's usually the women who hold their babies.
You know, Dr. Bose, I mean, if you give me the permission, देखिए सेवाएं नर्सिंग होम एक ऐसा नर्सिंग होम, एक हॉस्पिटल है जहाँ के डॉक्टर्स का विदेश में प्रैक्टिस करने का बहुत बड़ा तजुर्बा है, और ये जो हस्बैंड का वाइफ के साथ होना ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी एंड आफ्टर द प्रेगनेंसी बहुत जरूरी है. आफ्टर ऑल दोनों ने मिलकर ये बच्चा के पेरेंट्स बने हैं. और अगर आप में से कोई सही में डॉक्टर मैम के
बिल्कुल।
साथ बात करना चाहते हैं, पकड़ना चाहते हैं, बच्चे को साथ रह रहना चाहते हैं हॉस्पिटल में 1-2 दिन जो रहेगी आपकी वाइफ आफ्टर डिलीवरी, प्लीज कांटेक्ट कीजिए सेवायन हॉस्पिटल के स्टाफ को। और डिपेंडिंग ऑन द प्रेगनेंसी, इन्फेक्शन एक्सेट्रा मेडिकल कंसल्टेशन के बेसिस पे डॉक्टर बोस मे अलाउ यू टू share the joy with your wife. I would urge fathers to be,
Please, yes.
please,
Share the
please
pregnancy.
share the pregnancy.
Yes. You know,
What about the, what would be your message to people like grandparents who become very excited with the newborn? What should they do, not do? What is their role in supporting the new mother?
supporting the new mother? Yes, I do tell, you know, if we have there are some coming who are very conservative, you know. We have those kind of people coming who, as soon as the child is born, मिश्री पानी खिलाओ उसको, काजल, उंगली से काजल लगाओ, and you know, उसको तेल मालिश करो, और इसको खाने पीने में मत दो. You know, the mother-in-laws can be terrible. I realize that. So I actually tell them, क्या करे, इसको पूरा खाना दीजिए, she needs that. And don't put a kajal. You can put the nazar tikka here, but don't put the kajal. Yeah, you are actually putting infection. You are using your fingers and putting into the eyes of the. So these things, I teach them on a regular basis. That's why some of them, they don't like me, probably, and some of them, they get to learn. But I have to do my part.
Absolutely
So
right, ma'am. You
try to
have
teach.
taken the Hippocratic Oath,
Yeah.
and you must tell the patient and the patient party what is best for them.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that is a part of the NABH accreditation that
Yes.
Sevayan has
We have
got.
to try our best.
You have to try our
We have
best.
to try our best.
And Abhi, this is when we are recording this video. This is the month of May in the year 2024. The summer has been very difficult this year.
Very tough.
So, what would be 1 or 2 tips to women who are carrying their pregnancy through these summer months? What would be your advice to them, that how can they manage this pregnancy during summer
Yes.
months?
So one thing is, you know, I tell all my patients, stay hydrated.
Drink water.
Drink enough.
How much
Even
is
if
enough,
you're
ma'am?
2 liters. I
2
usually
liters
tell
in a
them
day?
post operative, or when the patient is in the hospital, I actually tell my staffs, patient का पानी अलग रखिए, 2 bottle बेड साइड रखिए, and 24 hours में कल जब हम आएंगे, I must know that she is, don't tell me in glasses, just tell me in the number of bottles, so I know my patient has consumed 2 liters. Why I say this is the blood, human blood is very viscous, slowly getting more and more viscous, and people are very prone to strokes post delivery. During pregnancy, very high risk of thrombosis and strokes. They have increased post COVID. This has really increased. So hydration is vital. Stay hydrated. This is the word I use for all my patients.
Good.
Stay hydrated.
Great. मैम, एक चीज, you know, एक चीज आपने देखा होगा मैम के साथ जो मेरी बातचीत हो रही है, कि मैम का जो सजेशन है बहुत साधारण सजेशन है. वो ये नहीं बता रही है कि अब एसी रूम में 5 एसी चला के ठंडे में रहेगी. वो इतना ही बता रही है कि 2 बोतल पानी पीजिए. तो ये हाइड्रेटेड रहना जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये ब्लड का जो विस्कोसिटी है, जो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है, उसके कारण आपको स्ट्रोक भी हो सकता है. मैम देखिए, to run any mother and child care, you need a very effective neonatal,
Yes.
newly born बच्चों के लिए, any emergency, any critical.
Yes, yes, all for all
Is
of them.
Sevayan well equipped for these type of
Yes,
emergencies?
yes.
You have a full-fledged neonatal.
I have 2, one senior, one junior.
Wow.
So
and do you have all the equipment needed for
Yes.
managing? What type of equipment do you have?
we have the CPAPs and the vent. We have a neonatal nursery,
Acha.
which is
Do
close
you
by.
also
Close.
do children need to be put on ventilator also if needed?
Yes, of course.
We have that facility in Sevayan?
Yes, we have everything.
We have everything.
Yes. And we started a long time ago when people didn't know what neonatology was in earlier days. This was the first NICU in the town of Munger. First
Acha.
NICU. Yeah,
NICU,
first
first
NICU.
NICU.
First NICU.
Ma'am, now let's come to women's health, which is an area of your specialization
Absolutely.
as well. What are the modern trends that you are seeing that women should be aware of to lead a healthy life, and what should they do to remain healthy?
Yeah, again, one thing very vital, give time and space to yourself. This is number one.
क्या बात कर रही है, एक मिनट मैडम, खुद को समय दीजिए, जगह दीजिए। जिंदगी आपकी है, आपको जीना है, आप दूसरे के लिए नहीं जी सकते। मैडम कंटिन्यू कीजिए, बोलिए फिर।
So first you give time and space to yourself. ऐसे नहीं बोलना है कि मेरे को समय नहीं मिलता। क्यों समय नहीं मिलता? 24 घंटा है। 1 घंटा अपने लिए तो कम से कम निकाल सकते हैं। Because I find lot of women who are obese, they are not losing their weight and they come with diabetes, they come with this disease. The first thing I tell them कि किसी तरह आपको 1 घंटा निकालिए और उस 1 घंटा जो है you do some form of exercise.
Any
form of exercise that suits you. 40 minutes to start with. If they are grossly obese, I don't tell them to do 40 minutes. I tell them 20 minutes. If your body takes 20 minutes for a month, I'll weigh you after a month, and then you go up 30 minutes, and then you can put it 40 minutes or 30 minutes into not 7 days. Put the Sunday off. 6 days a week. 5 days or 6 days a week.
180 minutes or so 3 घंटे।
Keep it to yourself. Get groomed. Go out. Do what you like. Do some hobbies. इसका क्या कर रहा है, मेरा बेटा क्या कर रहा है, मेरा हस्बैंड क्या कर रहा है, मेरे घर में
दुनिया का जो बोझ है लेकर चलते हैं लोग।
नहीं, मत करिए। आप जिंदगी तो एक होता है ना, तो आप अपने लिए जिए, अपने लिए जिए।
मैम कभी-कभी होता है कि कुछ मजबूरियां होती है कि जैसा फैमिली स्ट्रक्चर है, जैसा फैमिली आउटलुक है, वहाँ पर शायद संभव नहीं हो इतना फ्रीडम।
You have to be very diplomatic in life, I say. कोई चीज जैसे I find some ladies are very emotional. हमको उसने कुछ बोल दिया, उसने कुछ बोल दिया, कान है तो कुछ बोल भी दे तो क्या हुआ? Just don't listen. Just don't listen. Do it your way.
Food habits, ma'am. It's not about. मुझे जो लगता है कि it's not about. Not only important about what you eat. I think it is also important when you eat.
When you eat, yes.
How many meals do you prescribe to a lady?
Well, I usually say 4 meals. Have your breakfast. Have your lunch. Have your evening, a very light snack, and then your dinner early. Not
again that
early
one food wala concept.
No, for the breakfast, see, for the main meals is a 1/4 concept, but for the breakfast, it's like not a 1/4 concept. Every breakfast, you cannot be eating, roti sabji, and then lunch, फिर से roti sabji, और फिर से evening में 2 roti. No, that is not the way. Breakfast, you go in for your normal egg or, whatever you like. And if you are taking roti sabji, then change. I tell them, these days, we find a lot of patients coming to our gas. So we actually tell them have a mix, because our food is also adulterated. So don't stick to one kind of food. Have a variety. Grains, have a variety. Don't eat wheat every day. Have sometimes wheats, rice, oats, everything mixed, so that if one poison can cut off the other.
Got it.
So have a mixed diet.
Ma'am, I know a lot of couples, newly married couples, or let's say married for a few years, who are trying to conceive, and they are not successful.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So after what period of trying should they consult a doctor?
Okay, so that very much depends on the age. So normally we say if you are below 35, because 35 is the lady, yeah. If the lady is below 35, we tell them, okay, you can try for a year, get to know each other. And if it fails, then you can come in for the investigations. So first line, we investigate the husband.
So those facilities are there in Sevayan Hospital. Yes. Investigation.
Yeah.
अगर आप माँ और पिताजी बनना चाह रहे हैं और आपके प्रयास के बावजूद आप कंसीव नहीं करना चाहते हैं, तो आप सेवायन हॉस्पिटल में आ सकते हैं डॉक्टर सुदीपा बोस के पास, और उनसे अपना फर्स्ट लेवल ऑफ चेकअप करा सकते हैं कि क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज है, और मैडम फिर आपको गाइड कर सकती है कि किस तरह से आप आगे बढ़े, ताकि आप भी एक संतान और एक पिता माता बनने का आनंद का अनुभव कर सके। मैम ये बताइए कि इज लाइफस्टाइल अ प्रॉब्लम एट टाइम्स फॉर कंसीविंग?
Absolutely.
What are your recommendations?
Let me tell you, fertility rates in India were very high once upon a time. Post-COVID, fertility rates have fallen.
Is it an impact of COVID?
it is an impact of COVID, yes, and also the lifestyle. We find young children very obese, and they have a lot of disease like PCOD, what you call polycystic ovarian disease, and we find good number of patients having irregular menstrual problems.
Which age group do you find this children having this?
As early as 14, 16.
Okay.
And if these patients are caught early and treated well, they don't have the problem of infertility.
Is it possible to treat these type of PCODs with medicine alone,
Yes.
or does it always need surgery?
No, it is not only surgery. It is the first line treatment is medication and lifestyle. Lifestyle is very important. Lifestyle, diet, because these days, women are getting educated. They are, because of their career, they are postponing their pregnancy, things like that, So this, everything affects the fertility. Women think that first it should be my career. So usually there are places like Bombay, what they do, the ladies who are into career in a big way, they actually preserve their eggs. So whenever they, even in Japan, they preserve their eggs. Whenever they wish to get pregnant, then they can conceive.
Ma'am, since you are a very experienced gynecologist who has had experience of clinical experience outside India and in India, does it often happen that some patients come to you during a certain stage of pregnancy after they have been consulting other doctors?
Oh yes, that is.
And you accept them?
Yes, I do.
देखिए, एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बात बता रहा हूँ यहाँ पर कि कहीं पर आपको लगे कि मैम का जो एक्सपीरियंस है उसको आपको फ़ायदा उठाना है, और इसके लिए अगर आप उनके पास आना चाहें कंसल्टेशन के लिए, यद्यपि आप किसी दूसरे डॉक्टर को दिखाना चाहते हैं, फिर आ सकते हैं, क्योंकि मैम एक ऐसी डॉक्टर है जो कि केवल शुरू से ही आप उनके पास रहेंगे तभी वो आपका चिकित्सा करेंगे, ऐसा बात नहीं है। अगर आप शुरू से ही उनके पास रहे उतना अच्छा रहेगा, लेकिन अगर मान लीजिए बीच रास्ते में भी आपको लगा कि नहीं मैम का कंसल्टेशन आपको फ़ायदेमंद होगा, प्लीज़ आइए, मैम आपका चिकित्सा करने के लिए तैयार है। मैम, एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन आपके लिए जो मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि अभी एक तो आपने बताया कि फर्टिलिटी रेट्स कम हो रहा है, कोविड के प्रॉब्लम्स है,
ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड।
सो इफ अ कपल वांट्स टू हैव मोर देन वन चाइल्ड as a part of their family planning, what is the gap that you recommend between two children?
I usually say 3 years.
3 years. Is it for the mother to recover?
Yeah, it's for the mother to recover. And the new baby also, 3 years is a good age. She's grown up, she or he is grown up and can, do their own thing.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a good gap, 3 years.
3 years.
3 years, 5 years the most. A long gap, again we find the patients behaving like a preemie, the first pregnancy. Yeah. Too long a gap is, I personally feel, and no, even in the books you will find the same thing. 3 years is a good gap.
Are there any precautionary tests which a couple should undergo before getting married, which are related to complications later on for child? Like, for example, I have read somewhere that thalassemia,
yes, definitely.
Are there? What is the importance of that thalassemia test, and any other test that you think any person who is going to get married should undergo, and what is the benefit?
Okay, yes, definitely, because we do find genetic diseases in certain families. So chromosomal diseases, and then musculoskeletal abnormalities, congenital anomalies, both the couple, because they are X-linked diseases which carries on into the next generation. So yes, we do advise in certain cases that before you get married, you could do these tests. Say like thalassemia patient. So you get married to the guy, you can, if you tell him that I have this thing, so the guy also can get, future husband can get tested. So that way it is done. These tests can be done before marriage.
सेवायन हॉस्पिटल मुंगेर एक ऐसा हॉस्पिटल है जहां पर जो सीनियर 2 मोस्ट डॉक्टर्स हैं, डॉक्टर सुदीपा बोस और डॉक्टर बारिश बोस, दोनों मिलकर पूरी फैमिली का चिकित्सा कर सकते हैं। मैडम जैसे प्रेगनेंसी, चाइल्ड बर्थ, सर पीडियाट्रिक्स, डायबिटीज़, फैमिली मेडिसिन, जेरियाट्रिक्स, तो आपकी पूरी फैमिली का ख्याल आप सेवायन हॉस्पिटल के पास आएंगे तो मिल सकता है,